watchers, runners, and gods of the time stream, once you conjure up a table and you have all the treasure on it, don't forget the hourglass. Sit back, relax, and join us to talk about all things the Dungeon Run. We have a very, very, very jam-packed watch party today. Sorry for my tech issues. So today we have an Amulets Council to recap and discuss the amazing Whitebeard's Legendary Vault past timeline segue thing. We also have an amazing guest, DowntoClown, is on today. And we also have a very special video made by JLP herself. Even though, since Bryba and Jeff created the overall arching amazing recap of the entire journey so far for newcomers, JLP put together her own really, really cool, specific For Former Forges recap to get us who've already seen it, who's already involved, the very, very specifics of what we need to know right before coming back. So it's very exciting. Can't wait for that. On top of that, I wanted to take a second to shout out some amazing people and some amazing birthdays. Armando89, Mustic Attic, Hornist, and J-Lo Fitt's youngest daughter. Happy birthday.
Happy
I know your guys'
birthday.
birthdays were in August, but happy freaking birthday. And Frank and Tina, happy birthday. I know yours was like 2 days ago.
Happy birthday.
Yes, and I also wanted to give a shout out to Chef Scott and DowntoClown, who now have new grandchildren. How exciting! I love this community. I'm so glad that you guys are willing to share and celebrate, and you're all beautiful people, and so I really, really appreciate it. So we have so much to do today. I'm so excited now that things are here. Episode, open thoughts, and rating before we even dive into the council. I obviously was very depressed at the end of this episode. I was really, really emotional. Yeah, didn't make it. Thought I was going to make it without crying. Failed. I have a lot of emotions. And thank you, Forest Elf, for the flower. Oh, Cam the Fog Pearl rates it a 10 out of 10. Okay, so for this episode, I thought that the pacing was absolutely perfect. Perfect. 10 out of 10 for the pacing. They couldn't have had a better balance between story, lore, and battling. It was really well done, really well put together. And honestly, overall, it was a very good season finale to the past time arc that we've been enjoying. Everyone keeps saying that I'm a tough but fair critic, but even I have to give this episode a 9.5 out of 10 malls. Very, very good. 9.5 out of 10. 9.5. Wow, I know. It was really good. It was really well put together. Renee, do you want to share your thoughts?
I do. Thanks for asking. And I knew that you were not going to make it without crying. So that was like 100% chance of totally crying. Like I knew you were going to cry. I loved this episode. Loved it. I loved the Spellweavers. I was in love. Everything about them was fabulous. So the battle was super great. I mean, just great. I'm a lore person also, so I loved everything about the King and the Queen, all of that. I loved everything about Vault and Loudmouth, and I knew, but I still hurt my heart. It still hurt my heart so bad. I was so sad. I knew it was happening, but still so sad. I know that I'm tough, but I also did 9.5 malls out of 10 because it was so great. I just loved it. I loved it so much. Every bit about it.
Yeah,
so good.
It was undeniably a really good episode. Objectively, it was just a well done, put together episode.
Map room on point again.
Yeah, can you not stress the beautiful bridge alone? Seriously, it was amazing. The Wookiee King in chat says, "How many people placed a bet that Jess would cry?" First of all, I do want to say the amount of people that were like, because I didn't watch the rest of it live, the amount of people that were like, "You should do a watch party with everyone." I was like, I already knew it was going to happen. But with that said, I hopefully I can keep it together today. I was emotional. It's silly. I
She was.
absolutely love Whitebeard and this saga. But I do want to say Jeff said it best. And if you guys thought we were going to get through this last watch party without a Whitebeard video,
Wrong.
I don't know what stream you're watching and whose stream you think you're watching, but Jeff said it best. I think it's a gift that I got to see. We all got to see more of Whitebeard. And so, with that said, let us join me for the last time on the watch party, not to mourn the loss of Whitebeard, but to celebrate the Whitebeard we all got to share. Enjoy.
There's definitely a very large man, the big belly, and this enormous cascading beard that's white over the top of his belly. It goes down past his kneecaps.
Whitebeard commands attention.
Everything he does is big. He chugs it, slams the stein on the table.
I don't think we can really take the pirate out of Whitebeard.
No cowards, no deserters, only pirates.
Imagine the legend of Whitebeard, the man who not only rules the high seas, but also turned one over on the Shazangao, the most powerful empire in Nine.
People know Whitebeard.
Oh, I'm gonna have a fun day. You wanna come in here and mess with Whitebeard's crew? I'll pull your spine out of your mouth. If anything happens to that boy, it'll be your next. I did my part. I got your family for y'all. Whitebeard isn't like the snakes. I don't sail with slave labor. As of this moment, you all are free. You all know the sea or you wouldn't be here. Show me. Become a pirate. Earn your place. Be walked on no more. And you can join the ranks of the most infamous buccaneers ever to put sails to the wind. That wasn't so hard, was it? Danger lies in our way.
No protection can stand in the way of the great Whitebeard himself.
Treasure. Well, I can take care of myself. Your empty threats are tiresome, hag. I'll kill you. No cards. Let's do this. We're gonna have some fun, aren't we, boys? Hello, fair Waffle. It's Whitebeard, the greatest pirate captain ever sailed the lost sea. You're lucky you have a captain like me. I know you might be a little sad that my time in the story of the dungeon run is over. I want you to know I enjoyed every minute of it. And you and I will always be together. Because when I said I was spoken for, that I'm spoken for, it was you. It was always you, fair Waffle. Always. So while those foul heroes of Bengal may have killed me inside my jutty and tossed my body overboard on Murder's ship, they can't stamp out my heart because it belongs to you, fair Waffle. To you.
you. Maybe need a.
I didn't know that was. I didn't.
I know.
Oh my god. I'm speechless. I didn't know that was coming. Oh my god.
So maybe me and Corbin Bladen for himself might have a confession later.
Thank you guys. I didn't know. Oh my god, it was my stream. How do you surprise me on my own stream?
We're that good.
I'm legit. Thank you.
Obviously, with big help from Mr. Jeff Kanata.
That was amazing, truly. While I sit here and collect myself, introduce the council.
Come forth, Grimfated and Stevo. Tell me that wasn't awesome, because it was.
I was
We'll be
watching
right
her
back.
reaction the entire
I know.
time. I was like, oh my gosh.
Right, yeah.
I know. So good.
Sitting there telling Dice, I was like, I hope we can record what's going on in the background here.
I
So
hope
good.
you can. That was awesome. I don't know. Thank you, Jeff, and you and everybody who did that. Oh my god, I have to rewatch that forever now.
Every night before she goes to
I'm gonna
bed.
save
Yes.
it on her phone every time. Like, oh wait, weird.
Yes.
And here I said
Did
I
you-
wasn't gonna cry. I was.
Oh no, that was never gonna be a thing. We all know. Oh no, you were gonna cry today. Sorry.
I love you guys in this community so much. It hurts. It hurts so much. Anyway,
Proper send off. Proper send off.
yeah. Stevo, you said that you wanted to start today with a limerick or something. I don't know. Take it.
You
Do your
fed me
thing,
the line
Steven.
wrong. Well, Fail, I guess you could say my thoughts could best be described in the form of a limerick. What started as a simple dungeon run has turned into countless hours of fun. But Whitebeard is dead, now Waffle is red, since Jeff put an end to her hun.
Oh, that was so.
Oh, that was cute. Thank you.
That was way good. Yay.
I thought it was gonna be something bad. I was like, he's not telling me, so it must be something.
I just wanted a genuine
Aw.
reaction, you know.
I love it.
I really
Perfect.
love it so much.
All the emotions.
So many.
Yeah.
So why don't we start by talking about our highs and the highs of this story arc, and I want Stevo to go first with your favorite part of this adventure.
Okay, clearly, and it was highlighted very well in that video, but the speech, that speech, it was amazing. Whenever they get the slaves out of the snake den, and then they all get on the boat, and it's just like, oh man, oh here he comes. Like I rewatched it again today, and I was like, you see James and Lily, and they're just like, oh no, here comes Whitebeard, and what's he gonna say? He's gonna be mad, and then he's just like, nope, I'm gonna give an epic speech that's just gonna give everyone goosebumps and rile everyone. It was such a get hype moment, like it was crazy.
It really was, and I think what made it even better is the fact that that's not what people expected to see. They were expecting like oh no, what's the punishment? And so when that happened, it was just like mind blowing. Renee, why don't you go next? Because I'm almost done collecting myself.
We're still talking about highs?
Yeah.
I
your
was jumping on the
favorite
Stevo.
moments. Huh?
I'm still talking about the Stevo train.
Go
Still
for
jumping
it.
on the. We were talking today, Stevo and I told him I wanted to be a pirate. Sign me right up. Because he sent me that clip and he was like, one more time. And so I watched it and I was working. I was like, yep, I'm a pirate today.
Yep.
And I had goosebumps and I was like, yes, because I know there was talk even in the Discord of, like you said, the consequences. Is he going to be mad? Is he going to kill them all? Like, what's going to happen? And instead, inspiring leader and call to arms type deal. And I was like, yep, pirate. That's
I think
me.
I think Jeff rolled a natural 20 behind the screen on that speech.
I don't think enough people have said that how amazing that speech was written. Like Jeff did such a good job with it. I mean, he is technically the white beard behind the white beard, but it was very well. He was a charismatic leader. I don't know if you guys caught that or not, but he is a very charismatic leader. Grim, what about some of your favorite moments from the side thing?
Some of my favorite is probably like the whole castle run when they were going there. Like, I love all things creepy, dark, spooky. So that whole thing was just there for me. Like, just walking through, seeing all the ghosts and then the creepy dolls. Like, I want a creepy doll. Like, just give me like. And then you meet the lady of the house, where she turns out not to be what the big baddie that they thought she would be.
Like the surprise that she was actually trying to help them, like she was a good spirit, so to speak.
Yeah.
And it took them even almost halfway through the battle to realize that, as they kept attacking her. Well, half the party kept attacking her.
You're like, wait, no, hit her, don't wait. Like, okay.
Yeah, I can't remember who at this moment, but someone was like actively saying like stop hitting. I think it Lily. My mind is scattered.
I think it was Lily.
Wonder why.
No reason.
I don't know either. Yeah, it was Lily. Yeah, and she was just kind of like, whoa, like let's not do that. And I think it was the James and Ugo, I'm pretty sure, who were like, not James, Siv and Ugo, who were just like, let's just attack the thing. I agree. I thought the dolls were amazing. I loved the creepy vibe of it. I'm a huge horror fan. I'm representing horror today. And yes, by the way, for those of you who did catch it, and I totally forgot to segue, and I wonder why, but in honor of a big Force of Evil win, I thought it'd be appropriate to have an all Force of Evil watch party today. So everyone on here today is Team Force of Evil. I love it when Jeff said, I love this community, but they're really evil. Yes, Jeff. Yes, we are. Yeah, the castle run was really beautiful. To the music, to the green fog, the map room. It's such a beautiful display. It was really gorgeous. What about you, Renee?
Okay, so Loudmouth, the whole Loudmouth story that we got to learn more about him. I know, maybe you want him to be quiet. Some of you, maybe. But he had a lot to say. I mean, like a lot, but a lot of good things also. And I loved finding out more about him. And I did not enjoy everybody metaphorically cutting his tongue off before it got physically cut off. But I did enjoy finding out more about all of that. I love that guy.
Well, and for those of you who don't remember, when Jeff was on the watch party, he gave a watch party exclusive to the fact that Loudmouth was initially not even supposed to have.
I know, and I love that.
He was literally just supposed to be this mute guy so that he wouldn't have to come up with another voice, which is so ironic.
And then
I love it.
And then during this, he randomly made him illiterate.
Illiterate, yes.
Well, I guess that's canon now.
Yep.
You can tell, though, that Jeff regretted that the second he said that. He was like, yeah, but I love Loudmouth is hands down, I think, he's pretty close. I think he's probably one of my top 5 favorite NPCs. He's very misunderstood. I think he's very underrated. And not from us. I mean, like, the pirates, like the party specifically were just like, yeah, you're a fountain of knowledge. No, you're not. Like, they just totally discredited him when he has a lot to say. He had a lot of potential to help them that they don't think they took advantage of. But even his story, from being a pirate to Whitebeard's main hand to being emotional connection to Mervis. The fact, exactly. One of my top favorite moments of this whole series was when Loudmouth gave his reveal to Civ. Yeah. And specifically the moment where Civ says, you're either being really foolish or really brave? And
Yeah.
Loudmouth says, in the most sincerest tone, I care about that boy. And it was so emotional. What a diverse character Loudmouth is.
Yeah. Love that guy.
The Wookiee King says, also, let's talk more about Mervis. Okay. I know this might shock everybody, but I love Whitebeard. I never cared for Mervis.
See, Mervis was great, man. Like, I've got a Pirates in Pajama, or Do Pirates Wear Pajamas book for my son. And whenever Jeff first started doing that voice, like, I just kind of took that voice and never read that book the same again to him at night, you know.
That works.
Horstolf says that's no way to talk about your child. Who's to say Whitebeard and I didn't get together after the child? And if I'm Mervis's mom, then, you know, he's the best. Mervis is my son, says Dyson Gates. Okay, well, I love my son then. He's great, and I'm very sad that his father and him didn't have a better connection. There you go. Is that a better story for you? No, for real though, I will add this though, because you wanted to talk about Mervis. They go together, okay? The big debate between the community was whether Loudmouth was going to get his tongue cut off for getting his secret revealed, that he helped Mervis do the mutiny, like he set that up, or was it going to be because he was telling the story and he was saying too much? Like, those were the two big theories. Well, now that we know that it was the fact that he was just telling a little too much about what was in that vault, I was saddened by that, just because Whitebeard really does never know that Mervis. He never finds out the truth about what happened between Mervis and I do want to point out, because I don't know how many people remember this, Whitebeard actually thought the crew mutinied and took Mervis with him. Whitebeard never thought that Mervis himself wanted to leave. So it was just sad that he just never finds out his son is mad at him. He never finds out any of that, and it's very sad.
Snitches get stitches.
I will say that, though, as much as I love Loudmouth, it was a very bittersweet moment, because maybe you shouldn't be telling what's in your boss's vault. That could be dangerous if it's that important and it's that special. But I know that's not a popular.
Let's sink ships.
I mean, you would think, though, that at least the curator of the vault would not tell what's in it.
Well, now he won't, or she, for sure.
Yeah, he's not saying anything. Lily Doublestuck Band says they should have put Loudmouth's tongue back and used mending. Could you do that? Is that a D&D thing you can do? Oh.
I don't actually play in D&D, so I have no idea.
Mending doesn't work on body parts, though.
No, Cole Counter says not mending. Sorry.
Yeah, it doesn't work on body parts.
Just objects, the chat is saying. Yeah. You only have... Stevo, you play D&D, right?
I just started this year.
Yeah. Renee's the only one that plays D&D in this little square.
For the record.
But speaking of, though, I do want to say the map room, right? The map room during this entire journey has been the MVP. They've been awesome. Really shines and carried so many episodes. But with that said, we actually found out that Stevo...
podcast.
Yeah, Stevo is a pure podcast listener. And we were kind of talking about, for us, that was...
It's hard to point him. There.
He's there. Yeah. It was a little weird because the map room, he doesn't see the map room. So Stevo, why don't you tell us a little bit of what it's like to be a podcast listener who's kind of enjoying the timeline arc?
Okay, so I've listened to podcasts since 2012, and I started with some D&D podcasts way back then, and with Jeff on DLC, and he said he was on /Filmcast, he was starting this D&D show, so I immediately jumped in. But I'm not the kind of person that has the time to watch a lot of things. I mostly catch all these, busy doing something. I'm chasing a toddler around, cleaning, cooking, whatever. For the longest time, I was carrying mail, and I'd just be out on the route listening, But Jeff does such a great job describing everything, even now with the map room, and even when he had all those awesome miniatures that they were making at the studio. I have no trouble picturing what's going on. Like right now, I'm imagining the cutest little dog barking in the background.
It's not mine this time.
Is that
But
Glenn?
It's my sister's dog, and so it's not even in the same room, so there's not much I can do.
oh,
I'm
you're
sorry.
fine. I'm just messing with you. But yeah, I mean, I do pop in. Like, it was like the first or second episode. He was like, if you're just listening to the show, you really need to get in and watch, at least check out what they're doing. So I would always make it a point to like go in and look and see what they were doing, because those miniatures are crazy. Like the wardens and everything that they're making.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I mean, my favorite one has got to be the Deep Reef with that giant octopus or whatever, the squid or whatever, like holding him to the wall. That was nuts. But like, yeah, I'll pop in and I'll catch the what the map room's doing too. And I mean, it's insane. The Kraken, excuse me.
Yeah.
But
Just for the
yeah.
record.
just let the records show. It's Kraken.
Stevo the theorist.
Put
I
that on
didn't bring
your
my board. I didn't bring my board. Sorry.
Right.
He didn't bring his board. I
Excused.
told him not to bring his board. So.
Yeah.
Of course.
We're having a little talk last night, and she kept saying like, "Well, what do you want to talk about?" I'm just like, "Well, what about this and the consequences of this and all this?" And she's just like, "No theory." And I was like, "All right."
I love Jessica Lynn Parsons in chat says Grimfated looks like a queen right now. She
does.
She always looks like a queen for sure. So while we're talking about map rooms, I just want to quickly have everyone say what their favorite map was, because that's fun. I think for me, it's a toss-up between the very, very first Castle Rum map, where you walked into the house and it has the long entryway. So cool with the green. That and I can't pick between that one and the lighthouse map where they had the 2 layers.
Yeah.
So cool. Plus the Viscount, I think, is my favorite little
gooey guy.
Gooey mini. It was just so like.
Yeah, that's tough.
Well, I like how every week the map room gets better and like more detailed. And like last week when they like did the shot and they like started up at the hole or whatever, and then they like pulled down, and like every week they add something to make it even better.
It's so true. You're right. Because even just the water by the end was so like. It was. Yeah. It was very.
I think that, what was it, cold breath too, that Ugo did on the eggs, and it was like all moving around on all the eggs at one point, you know, instead of just like one thing. It was like constantly moving around on the eggs was so fun. Just always doing something fun.
Yeah, like chat has very different opinions, from the lighthouse map to the ship map.
The ships are good.
The ships were. I did like the fire. I did like the ship on fire. That was.
Yeah, the Hunger of
lots of
Hadar
cool stuff.
was really good.
I love that spell.
Yeah. Yes. All I can see is Amanda rolling around.
Another thing I wanted to make sure that we covered was I wanted to. We talked a lot about last night about growth, and which characters have really grown in the story arc. So Stevo, I want you to go first. Why don't you take it away with who you thought had the most character growth in this story arc?
So I mean, we discussed it a lot, but I still think Civ. Like I liked seeing his growth. Like I loved at the beginning watching casual Civ make an appearance and just casually walking everywhere, and everything was just so casual. It was great. And then all of a sudden, it was just like, oh wait, no, things are real, and things might have consequences. And yeah, I'm just gonna go all out, and I'm gonna profess my love even more to Lily and take more chances and do some romantic movie kiss dips. Like we're doing it. We're going for it. You know.
Ooh.
Plus,
Yeah,
I like. Oh, sorry.
No, keep going.
Oh no. I love the transformation that Mr. Whispers took, and also just real quick, favorite new NPC voice Mr. Whispers. 1000%.
It was pretty good. It was pretty good. A lot of people in chat are bringing up a lot of good points. Cam the Fog Pal said Lily stood up for herself for the first time and tried to basically stood up for herself and tried to get the team to realize what they were doing was not the best. And then JLP pointed out that James revealed his true Patreon. We didn't even discuss that, but it's true. James in the story arc told his secrets. He finally fully trusted the party and had enough confidence in himself to talk about his Patreon, which is huge for James. And then, yes, because I know you have a lot of feels on it, Renee.
And I don't have to go next. I do have a lot of feels, but it's fine. I was watching Grimm's face, like, it's totally just all the time, and I was like, man, I know.
Yeah,
what's Grimm thinking?
Since you guys share the same opinion.
God, do you really want to know? Like,
I want to know.
Well, Grim, since I know you and Renee have the same opinion, why don't you start, Grim, and then Renee can just barf on top of your...
You say barf?
Oh, that's a great visual. Thanks for that.
You're welcome.
I might have changed mine. You don't know.
Maybe. That's fine. No, I said Uggo just because watching him go from getting this faith in the Candle Queen to all of a sudden going backwards in the timeline where he couldn't reach out to the Candle Queen, and so he started really questioning this newfound faith, and then watching him go through trying to deal with that and being Uggo the way he used to be, where it was just rage and attack everything first and then figure things out later, and just watching him try to like get away from that a little bit. And I love Uggo.
And Renee, go.
All right, I didn't change my mind. I'm full on Uggo. I don't know. We did talk about it yesterday. I do agree with the casual Civ versus Civ now, and like we said, we were talking yesterday how I get started with the Voyage into Madness is where I first noticed all of that, and I do agree there is growth there and change there for sure. Uggo though, with his balance between Barbarian and Rage and now Paladin, just that whole struggle, and then the whole beard bit, how he accidentally killed him, and then just now how he became its #1 guy, you know, whether or not that was part of the plan or not. I mean, I still feel like there's a conflict there. You know, he's struggling with all of that, or struggled. Now that that's over, I still feel like there's, you know, he's got a lot going on. I do like the point with James, though. I think that is a good point. Mm-hmm. That did show a lot of growth. I think that's a very, very valid point. And I do think Fahima did also show a lot of growth in her powers, just handling the maturity of her powers. I think that also is growth, too.
I was
really getting into the necromancy.
Yeah, so I think... Yeah,
I was going to touch on Fahima.
But Uggo is my guy. So Grim, yes, I did not change my mind. Team Uggo, I can't help it. I love that guy.
I too wanted to touch on Fahima a little bit because I think for me, one of my favorite Fahima moments took place in this time arc because Fahima's growth, I think it was very internal during this arc, and I feel like she's really trying to grow, and for me, one of my favorite Fahima moments of all time was when she just learned the spare spell, and that was such a beautiful moment for her because my take at least is that Fahima, she wants to teach, she wants to grow, she wants to learn how to help, because she knows how to fire, she knows how to destroy, but does she know how to like build and heal? And I think when she learned that spell, even on JLP's face, it was so genuine and so real and raw. And when she named it Spare, it was also just a beautiful testament to the other time she actually saved and spared a creature's life. It was just as important to her. It was such a beautiful moment, and I think she's trying to come into herself as she's trying to find her place. You know, she tested a couple different ways on how to be like a leader. She tested a few different ways on how to just where she fits in, where her skills are at, where her weaknesses are, and that's beautiful. And you don't see that very good.
No, I definitely, she's coming into her own, and she's maturing in that way. And I definitely think, and wizards are limited as far as like healing goes anyway. And I think that she's trying to find something she can do in that realm also that will help. I love the moment where Civ went to her to learn, because she does want to teach. Do you know what I mean? So I think that was exciting for her also to be able to teach him something. So I love that interaction also. So I thought that was great.
We got a lot of different cast interactions, you know,
Yeah.
some newer team ups, which was great.
Yes. Thank you, Stevo. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Because I'm sorry, we can't like recap this arc without saying, I'm sorry, I love it. It was a beautiful moment. But how awkward was the initial like conversation meetup thing between Lily and James when they first separated, and like they're heading to the lighthouse and they were just like, yeah, sup. Yeah. We've never had an alone conversation. This is kind of awkward. I remember chat, like live chat was like, this is so weird, because they were just like so like awkward with each other, and I loved it. I loved it.
We need to get a counter on how many times Lily calls out, "Don't split the party," or "Hey, we're doing it again."
Yeah.
I took that rest in the cave. I loved it. It's just like, I just want to note, we just split the party. Now you're jumping in a river. We're splitting it again. Okay.
Yeah, it's true. It's like they don't know how to not split up. And yes, shout out to Brava, hashtag team split the party, because he's leader of that team. I know he gets super excited. But yeah, we should start counting how many times Lily said, let's not do that. But I'm pretty sure at least at the beginning of the arc, it was Lily's, like Lily was for splitting up, right?
I think it was okay. I mean, I think that was splitting up though. I mean, I think.
Yeah, it was just let's not do it in dangerous caves.
Right.
Ouroboros says, wait, James is involved in an awkward conversation? No way. I have to point out that it wasn't just James. Lily was just as awkward. It was a beautiful awkward. I loved it. But you can tell even between those characters, their interactions have grown since then too. Yeah. Stevo, you're spot on. Like the different character dynamics and even just the growth in their relationships has been insane.
I love the whole awkward conversation, because I feel like that's any conversation with me. It's just like, so. Yeah.
So not even true.
That's not true.
They feel the most real, you know? Like, 'cause not every conversation is scripted. Like, you know.
None of them are.
Right.
They're not?
What? We're not a scripted show.
This awkward moment was scripted yesterday. We gotcha.
No script. Yeah. I want to quickly give a shout out to Chef Scott, who is stopping by. Again, I said happy birthday to, not happy birthday, but congratulations for having a grandchild earlier.
Yay.
And I did briefly get to see in the Discord what's going on, and I hope everything's well, and the Dungeon Room family is with you, and we love you. So thank you for stopping by. Katie Michael says Stevo scripts his combos.
He does.
They're
on his board.
Yeah, he writes it on a board. It's all on a whiteboard he carries around with him. Yeah.
I have a web, you know, it's like if they say this, you say this.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he has it all in the yarn. Mm-hmm. It's pretty fantastic.
Yeah. It's all worked out.
This has been the fastest hour of my life for many reasons, I'm sure. But I do want each of you to, if you want to, give closing thoughts to what you closing thoughts about this arc before we move to the Four More Forges. Just closing comments that we didn't get to say.
Again, you always forget the sea hag. Remember yesterday?
The sea hag!
Again.
You tried yesterday.
Grim, that was your job. That was your one job from yesterday. The sea hag.
Grim, that was your job. And
mission accomplished. Job completed. She did it.
You did it. Okay.
And we failed.
So Grim, tell us about the sea hag.
Tell us all about her.
The sea hag. I want the sea hag to be my best friend. I enjoy everything about the sea hag. Like, from just her little sassy riddle attitude of, I'll tell you what you want to know, but you're going to have to figure out what it means. Like,
I my favorite part of the Sea Hag was
Don't
her
do it.
sass. No, her sass. Her sass. The fact that like she even tempted James at the end, and she's like, you could just end it all right now. It's an option for you. Like, was so funny. And then of course the legendary moment in the sending where she just cackles.
Right. I want
And
to be
then
her pen pal.
Yeah.
I know I'd be her pen pal too. I wanted her to bite me and cackles.
And the way Jeff even said, and it cuts off.
I love it. I love everything about her. She's fabulous.
Wasn't even done laughing. Like she was on
It's
it.
yeah.
Katie
The
Michael
signal cut
says.
out.
Katie Michael says, I tried to be friends with her. Don't recommend it.
0 out of 10.
Well,
don't
to be
recommend.
fair, you kind of got thrown at her. Switcherooski.
I would be her best friend. I think the
Yeah.
5 of us are gonna get together and have tea with the Sea Hag, and she's
Yeah.
gonna tell us all of each other's fortunes, and we're gonna spend the next 20 years trying to figure it out.
Who doesn't like that nice little sea
Do you think
sea
that-
sound?
If that body swap, if a Nat 1 would have been rolled, would have been like a Freaky Friday thing, and Fahima would have become the Sea Hag?
Ooh.
Don't know. But
Theories.
I'm theorizing.
Leave your
Put it on the board.
I had to get one in.
Put it on the board.
We'll definitely discuss that. I think you should spend more time in the No Cast on Stevo, because seriously, some of your theories are really fun, and they're really worth talking about, in my opinion. So you should hang out more time in the No Cast on Stevo. Okay, last thoughts for you guys. For Grim, good job. You did your part.
I got it.
High five, Grim.
Closing thoughts for you guys.
Yeah. Go, Grim. Closing thoughts.
For a story arc that was only supposed to be a couple of weeks, it turned into a really enjoyable side journey that isn't really a side journey, but I'm excited to see what's coming next.
Okay.
Agreed.
Stevo, go.
Yeah, this was great. I mean, like, as we've heard 2.5 million times on all the commercials and from every company, in these unprecedented times, what they did was perfect. Like, I mean, this was great. Like, you got some shows that are just like, we're done, we're gonna take a break, we're not gonna do it unless we're all in person, and they figured out how to make it really work, and I love that. Because I mean, I don't know what I'd do without my dungeon run fix every week. You know, like, so
Cold Canvas says well said.
Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to getting back to the main storyline, because every now and again, if someone just says 4, then my brain immediately just goes former forges. So I gotta know more.
It makes sense. Renee, quickly, go.
Renee, so my lore self loved of it. I loved knowing more about all of that, and knowing all, like, backstory and stuff from each of them, and all of their interactions was fabulous. Map room, astounding, and it was all amazing. And yes, like Stevo said, I can't wait to see more. I know Jeff is excited about the more, so I'm excited about the more.
Yes. I really, truly, bottom of my heart, I'm gonna cry again.
I know you're sad. I know you're sad.
Just let it out.
No,
it's all right here. I know.
It's okay.
No, I'm happy.
We're here for you.
I have a lot of emotions. This was seriously, story-wise, map room-wise, actor-wise, everyone did a phenomenal job on this story arc. It wasn't planned. It was unexpected. I really feel that the story and the character development and everything was on point. Not once did I feel at any point that, oh man, this is clearly stalling, or I can tell they didn't want to do this. No, it was beautiful. It was well put together. I really enjoyed every single second of this ride, and I'm so thankful that we had it. Yes, I'm excited for the 4 more Forges, but I was in no rush because I trusted Jeff and the cast and the crew in the map room, and I'm so happy, and I love the way it ended. It was beautiful.
Yep.
Overall, I give this story arc a 9 out of 10 malls. It was very beautiful. And with that said, Thank you, Team Force of Evil, hashtag matching shirts. You guys are awesome. I love you both.
Hashtag Yam Hammer.
Yam Hammer. And before we get to our guests, I think we have a little sponsored commercial episode to show real quick. So let's see who's sponsored today's episode.
Yeah, let's see.
Feeling drowned and need a pick-me-up to command the day? Then crack open a can of Whitebeard's.
Why, hello there, Fail Waffle. I stole a little poem from that tabaxi that works for me, and I thought it might be nice for me to read one of his poems to you. So here goes. This one is entitled Treasure, a poem by Civ Red Thistle, performed by, you guessed it, a white bitch. Why, hello there, Fail Waffle, is it? This is Civ Red Thistle, and I wanted to let you know that I took a poll amongst all of the pirates to see what they thought of Whitebeard, truly, deep down, and I wanted to share it with you. So, there's the top 5 things, and I'll go in no particular order. Here we are. Number 5, arrogant and cocky. Yes, it seems that amongst the pirates, anyways, that they thought that he thought a little too much of himself, always blustering and sticking out his chest, and overall just acting like he was the bee's knees. So that's number 5. Number 4, very greedy. It seems they thought that there were so many riches and so much money that had slipped through their fingers and had been taken up by Whitebeard himself, that they thought that they were being ripped off, and that overall he cared more about gold and money than he did about them. So there you go. Here we are. Number 3, anger issues. This one I very much agree with. After all, Whitebeard does seem to be angry all the time, doesn't he? There's never a moment where he's happy. Well, maybe when he has gold. But other than that, he seems to be quite angry all the time, and sort of mean, if you think about it. So that's number 3. Where were we? Yes. Number 2. He is rude. Very rude, actually. I don't know if you remember this, but when we were inside of a very nice sit-down restaurant and we were all enjoying ourselves, he decided to take someone's face and smash it into a table. And I, myself, was trying to enjoy a meal peacefully, and it was very disruptive. He doesn't wipe his mouth, he doesn't use the right utensil, and overall, he's just sort of a jerk. Yes, so that was number 2. And, oh, yes, most of all, number 1, he smells. Yes, you might not know this, but Whitebeard doesn't bathe. Ever. Have you ever smelled a sewer on a very hot day? That's almost as bad as Whitebeard actually smells in real life, IRL. In fact, he stinks so bad that the majority of the crew, including myself, we have to stand about 10 feet away from him and hope for a strong breeze blowing in the opposite direction so that we don't actually have to breathe in the stench. I mean, there's a reason why no one wants to be standing right next to Whitebeard. And there you go. Top 5 reasons why no one likes Whitebeard. To love incarnate. Well, there you go, Fail Waffle. It was nice speaking to you, or at you, or what have you. But I've got a little voyage that I have to go off on right now, and I mean to return at some point in the future. You take care of yourself, and you take care of that tabaxi. Keep an eye on that one. Farewell.
What is going on here?
Hijacked by Civ. What can you do?
I just don't even know what I'm doing here anymore. First of all, rude. Okay, rude. Secondly, did you not see how not angry apparently Whitford was at the beginning of this
Yes,
stream?
Ouroboros, high K-jacked. Exactly. Mm-hmm.
I guess our feud isn't over yet, is it, Jared?
Thank you, Jared.
Thank you, Jared. I meant thank you. That's what I actually meant.
That's exactly what she said.
That was amazing. Oh my god, I can't wait to watch this. I can't deal. You're wrong though.
Corbin played. You're amazing. Thank you.
I think you surveyed the wrong pirates, but you know, it's fine. It's fine. And never mind. I'll save my comments. Anyway, can I stress how much I love everybody here? Y'all are amazing. With that being said, get rid of the lies, get rid of the false news you just heard, and welcome us to join our other special guest today, DowntoClown. I hope you guys are down to clown, because I know I am.
Hey!
How you doing? Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys doing?
I'm a little flustered right now, so please forgive me.
Sure, understood.
I have a lot of emotions right now.
Understood.
But I'm good to see you again. It's amazing,
You
and
as
thank
well.
you for being here.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Always. You are a prime member of Team Force of Evil, and I appreciate you always. You're one of my heroes. Why don't you start by
I love that.
Why don't you start by telling people how you found the show and what drew you to the show? We'll start there.
So about a year and a half ago, my son, who was 19 at the time, asked me to run a game for him and his friends. And I'd known about D&D and never really played it. And I said, oh, sure. You know, my son and I have always bonded over stuff like that, video games. And so I went out and I picked up some books and I started reading it and realized I was way in over my head. So like most things we do now, when we want to learn how to do something, where do we go? We go to YouTube. And so I just typed in D&D, and the first one that came up was a different stream, and I watched it for about 30 minutes, and I was like, yeah, I don't know. Got into the loop, got into the rabbit hole of D&D on YouTube, and I found there's a thumbnail for the very first episode, and it's Airband speaking to Jared. Airband's in his throne there at the entrance where they come out when he announces them. And I saw that, and I went, okay, this has got me written all over it. I mean, this has got, and from I think in the next 3 days, I think I caught up. Episode 11, I think, was my first live one. I watched them all, and yeah, this is this is how this game is meant to be played. Is the way these guys do it. It's amazing.
You look like a fun guy. I'm not even gonna lie. So you D&D? Do you do homebrew or do you do modules or?
So right now I'm running a homebrew that I'm told I'm never supposed to do this, but I write it as I go because I have no idea.
Hey man, why not?
Right, you know, and yeah, I do actually run a module game as well, but the homebrew, and again, I can't stress it enough. Watching this group has raised my level of being a DM, of being a player. It's incredible. I can't say enough about them.
So you play too?
Yes.
Awesome. That's fantastic. So you write them as you go?
Yes. So I'll have a general idea of what I want to do,
Uh-huh.
and I'll have, okay, we're going to throw these monsters at these guys today. And then I just kind of let the story just go, you know, here's where you guys are at. What are you guys doing? And they help me out with, well, we're going to go this way. Okay. And I'm over here with scratch paper. Okay. Yeah, we make that. Yeah, I can make that. Yeah.
Okay. On the fly. I love it. It. That's fantastic. Okay. Yep. Hey there. Welcome back.
Hey.
We're talking about homebrew right now. I know.
Yeah.
It's fine.
So I want to say, I know you can't hear me all that great right now, but I want to say, I don't know if you mentioned it yet, but I know you play in 5 D&D games right now. And between the two of you guys, you both play several D&D campaigns a week. For me, that is crazy, and I
I
want
love
to
it.
know,
Yeah.
how do you do it? Because you're a DM in some and a player in others, correct?
Yes. So a lot of times it's from the player side. I would go into something and I would get I get confused about, okay, well, wait a minute, this character doesn't have this. I'm not playing the Goliath barbarian in this campaign. I'm playing the gnome artificer in this campaign. We got to switch, keep my but
Yeah.
there, it's none of them hardly ever back to back. So it's fairly simple. It's fun. I'm addicted. I can't help it.
Oh, I know.
The
Do you
live
find
games.
it hard
Go ahead.
to take off your DM hat and put your player hat on? Do you find yourself in DM mode a lot?
I do, but that gives me a lot of inspiration for, okay, where am I going to take my game? If I'm playing in someone else's homebrew and
Right.
they throw something that I have never seen before, that's coming in mine. I mean, I'm sorry, it's coming in mine. I'm going to do it.
I love it. I
You
love
know?
it.
Yeah. So
That's fabulous.
yes,
Yeah, I feel like for me, I get so clearly like the show. I am the same way in my D&D game. I get so emotionally drawn in. I
oh,
don't know if there would be any me left if I was in 5 games. But seriously, kudos to both of you for being able to do that because it's insane. Down to Clown, I also wanted you to, because it's beautiful and your name is awesome. Can you tell tell everyone a little bit about your name and just why you chose the best team on the planet?
so I've always been the class clown. I mean, even when I was little, I mean, that was me. Always cutting up, always, never paying attention, more important, trying to make people laugh and screw around. And so I've always had that personality. And for some reason, from what I understand, most people terrified of the clown thing. I've always just been drawn to it. It fascinates me. The evil clown thing is just fascinating to me. And as far as the force of evil goes, again, I've always been more drawn to the bad guys in the movies, and I have a list, and I'm gonna go here. I have a list, and it's a revolving list. And when we first met your buddy Whitebeard, I'm like, okay, he's pretty far down on the list. When we first met him, there wasn't much there. When we got to this timeline change, Whitebeard he's easily top 5 for me of all time because I like my bad guys.
Capital
They have,
V villain.
they have the swagger. It's not that they're just bad and they're doing bad stuff. It's that they can be talking to you and like, hey, how you doing? And next thing you know, they're cutting your tongue out. That to me, that's amazing to me. Those moments are just so great. So yeah, Whitebeard is top 5 easy.
I love it.
So yeah.
By the way, those behind you, purple balloons?
Oh God. Yeah, they just show up. I don't know.
Yeah, just wanted to make sure that I was not
God.
saying anything.
Oh, wow.
I send him to his house every Tuesday night. Motivation.
That's where those come from. Got it.
Yep,
Motivation.
Yep.
I love it
And
so much.
I tried really hard to go white beard. I did as much stressful stuff as I could. This is as close as I could get, so I went pirate purple for you today. So
I like it.
I love it. I painted
beautiful.
my nails.
yes.
My toenails are purple.
It works.
Yes.
It works. So then, why don't you tell us what is your PS? Just so you guys know, the rolling blackouts in California are insane. I have no power right now, so that's why I'm on my phone in the dark.
Looks good.
Yay.
Totally fine. We're talking homebrew. It's fine.
Yeah.
So I can't even see chat now because I'm just on my phone.
I
For the
got it.
record. So
We're good.
why don't you tell us what is specifically, if you have one, your favorite moment or your favorite scene from the Whitebeard time arc?
Oh, I mean it's the cutting the tongue out. I mean, if I had to pick a favorite,
Really?
I mean this is one show that I can honestly, when somebody says what's your favorite episode, my honest answer is the next one, because there's never a lull in any. The bar just keeps going up and up and up and up and up. So my favorite show is the next one. It always has been. But that punctuation, I mean, again, I can't say enough about the writing of Jeff's writing in this, and
It's incredible.
that to me that's how you end it, because you can't have an epic death with Whitebeard, because we've already seen that. That's been done already. How do you just punctuate this and say the end of an era? And that's it. That was perfect.
Statement piece for sure.
Yes, absolutely perfect for me.
It hurt my heart. I'm not gonna lie, because I did like Loudmouth, but I knew it was coming. I knew.
He had it coming. I'm sorry.
I know, but it still hurt my little heart.
So down to clown. Last question for you then. Since beautifully put, I love that your answer is usually the next one.
The next one, yeah.
So it being said, what are you most excited for moving forward?
So I'm very, very curious to see, and you guys talked about it a little bit earlier, the growth that's starting to happen with the players and their characters. You know, Fahima, wow. I mean, and what's the look on everybody's face that moment in the last game when Jeff says, "Well, he's going to throw disintegrate," and everybody, you could just see it. Everybody's like,
panic, yeah.
And then Jessica jumps, whoa, counterspell, and I mean, just the elation, and you know, the player growth is really. I mean, I'm really wanting to see her take that force of evil, that blood magic. See how far she takes that.
Yes,
I am really excited to see where that goes, and you know, for the force of good people, respect. I want to see where Ugo's Paladin trail leads him. I'm really curious to see that.
Well put, sir. Okay, so with that being said, of everything that we're excited for, I do think this is a good time to show you guys JLP's amazingly well put together recap of the 4 former forges and helping us get right in it, ready to dive right into the next episode. So watch the video and join us when it's over. Enjoy.
The fortress of the 4 former forges, where wondrous items of power and artistry were crafted, and the only way in to the heart of Sky Scorcher Peak, the volcano, where they believe another warden is being held. Ein's 100-foot-tall elemental protectors, ready and equipped with the Elder's words and their own protective gear. The next step was entering.
Humrian, I know this is going to seem odd, but do you mind telling us where Donk is? It seems there's a chance that we're going to need a dwarf to come with us.
You're talking about the
riddle.
The riddle.
Before each forge, find a uniform platform. Perform the formal feats on each of the 4 former forges, and the platform will transform, facilitating a format for forging forward. But be forewarned, the fortress forbids foraging from non-dwarven explorers. You cannot afford to ignore the formidable fortifications. To move forward, you may need to forfeit your fortune. Conform to the formula. Ford the deformed platform. Reform the forge. Afford the fork a new formation. Before the face, fight the warm forms. And when it comes time to perform, do not be missing form.
If you want me to go with you, I'll go.
We'll protect you.
I don't want to fight anything.
I hope you don't have to. I'll cast Sending to Hermelfesh. Heading into the fortress of the 4 former forges tomorrow. Not sure what to expect. Side note, Erdenfurt is alive.
As you get closer to where the seat of royalty is, where the throne room that you've gone to numerous times to meet the king, there's quite a crowd gathered.
I thought we could use an audience for once. I walk over to one of the walls and rip off a poster, and I put it in front of you.
Come one, come all, see the heroes of Bingle venture into the 4 former forges tomorrow at dawn. Why?
I have to tell them now I'm letting an orc to the most sacred place in all of DowntoClown.
An orc who helps stop something that is harming you, and you getting all upset is not going to help anything.
I think that there's a lot of emotions right now that are running high, and we do need to get in there.
A long time passes, and you're walking. You get to a larger area that kind of opens up, and there is a statue of a dwarf. The fortress entrance.
Do you know who that is?
No, nobody does.
I do. This is Orad Ironmark.
I haven't been 100% honest with you. You'll find the entrance to the fortress of the 4 former forges down there. But I don't know how to get in. You continue to walk and trudge, and as you go, you start seeing stalagmites and stalactites above you. Stalagmites from the ground, stalactites from the ceiling. I looked that up. Out of the ceiling falls this enormous spider. Boom! It looks like rock. Its face has eyes and big fangs, and it's got these big spikes all over its back.
I reach out and I make eye contact with Lily. Are you ready?
To die?
Not today. Thunderstep.
As you guys are teleported away, but in your absence, there is this massive sound. And it rips this thing limb from limb. There's rock hitting rock.
I can send Meepin to scout.
She sees what look like a bunch of eggs. They certainly look like they are fresh.
Everybody cry out if something bad happens.
Okay.
1, 2.
Go on three.
What you see is a large circular chamber that seems to have cave-ins on the backside. The staircase that leads down to a very ornate door that seems to have dwarven runes on it.
What does it say?
Eyes of the Runekeeper let me read all writing, so whatever it says, I can read it.
It says, nothing you can do to get inside.
That's the ancient dwarven runes say that?
I'm gonna sneak into the room to the left. I open the door.
Okay. An empty room.
Oh, wait, there are 4 antechambers.
What if we go into the room
And just stand there.
and do nothing?
That's where my brain was going.
Yes. What does Donk say when I spit that little idea out?
I think there's more writing here.
What does it say?
You may try to force this door open, but it's closed for good. Nothing you can do to get inside. You lack the positivity to proceed. This is the tough thing about puzzles, folks, is if your brain doesn't go there, then we sit and we wait.
Is it this?
Ooh. What is it?
You're giving me that look. Those heroes of Bingle, they are the best. Every week they're put to the test. As watchers, we want them all to succeed and try to give them just what they need. But sometimes the only thing they lack is a positive word to keep them on track. This force of good, make sure not to lose it. It does nothing but hold till you use it.
It does nothing. The door opens. I think that's the way in.
But please.
To the fortress of the 4 former forges. Let's go next week.
Yeah.
We are walking in to the fortress of the 4 former forges. Everything we've done so far isn't even it. As Dondo said last week, this is no simple dungeon run. We're in it now. We'll see you next week. Until then, as we say, humankind, be both.
And so good. Good.
Thank
I
you,
can't wait.
Thank you, JLP, for that.
Mhm.
I cannot stress enough how hyped tomorrow.
So good.
It really does put you right there. Like, all you need to know. So excited. Why can't it be Wednesday right now? Actually, I'm glad it's not because I don't have power.
Hopefully the power tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yes. But with that said, so hyped. I hope to see you all tomorrow. If not
Yes.
the YouTube chat, if not the Discord.
Podcast.
Yes. I can't join you on the podcast, but yes.
No, but be there.
I'm so shocked by everything that happened today. Thanks, Jess and you, and I don't even know who was involved in all that. And Jared, I'm glaring at you though. Thank you,
Corbin,
everybody.
Forrest
I
Elf,
can't- Yes.
Ingrid,
Thank
Joey,
you guys for everything. And
Down to
just
Clown.
as if this shows,
Vicious.
guys. You, Renee. I love this community. I love this family so much. So let's keep spreading the joy, guys. Humankind.
Be both.
Be both.